Welcome back to the International TD25C Turbo Saga. On the last video you guys saw, we put this turbo on, it came back from Area Diesel, and it didn't last very long. We got about 15 minutes of fun and she grenaded. I took it off, sent it back to Area Diesel, and Curtis was able to tear into it and figure out what was going on. I think a lot of people blamed having the exhaust off, putting it back on the track, and we couldn't get it lined up very well. There was some corrosion. I mean, this is a 50-year-old turbo, was a 50-year-old turbo. Couldn't get it on there very well, but ultimately the issue was it had the wrong bearings. When Area Diesel put the new center section, which was a donor for the original turbo, apparently Schweitzer changed design from a single center feed to a twin feed on the outside of the bearings. This required a bearing change as well. So if you'd like to see the full details on this rebuild and exactly what I'm talking about on this bearing design change, be sure to go check out Area Diesel's video. They have posted a very nice, fully in-depth video on rebuilding this thing. And I want to follow that up with, I think it's awesome that Area Diesel will even touch a 50-year-old turbo. I would challenge you to find another shop who would put the time and effort into a turbo like this. So kudos to them really on taking the time to look out for people like us. I'm sure many of you are still playing with and running very old machines that aren't very common. You're not going to go find a turbo for this somewhere. You can't really call your IH dealer very easily. So for Area Diesel to take on rebuilding an old turbo like this is awesome. They stand behind their product. We're going to see how this new one goes. I don't see any need to flush out the oil at this point. It was changed, but I want to change it again here probably next year when we're really working this thing, get it good and hot. But the oil was terrible that was in this thing. I don't know how long it's been in there. Also with the bad turbo, I think there was a lot of soot in the oil, so that made it even worse. So we're gonna put this back on. I got new batteries. I gotta solder on some new terminals for that. Let's get her going. We also have Assistant Matt on this mission of the new Turbinator round 2, or round 3 at this point. How many times are we counting?
How many times have we had it off? 3.
More than that.
Well, maybe you did one when I wasn't here.
I had it on and off and on and off.
What you're saying is we should be very good at it at this point.
Yeah, the good news is the threads were very nice and clean. They still are. Exhaust maybe filled with leaves now. This is our Rain Guard 2000 for the intake. I really wanted to get this thing on before winter time.
It turns a lot nicer now.
It does. A lot less grindy. So when it had the wrong bearings in it the last go around, it had gotten so hot, and I didn't catch this where we sent it back, but the shaft was about a 1/16 of an inch on each side, at least out around. You can see it on Area's video. But as this was spinning, you could basically see the shaft hitting in the same spot all the way around. And I think what happened was, because there was no oil on the bearings, it basically got the shaft red hot, and probably when it stopped turning, it just went and sagged down.
Yeah, if you'd have kept her spinning, she'd have cooled off in the right spot.
Yeah, you got to cool it down while turning. Leaf blower, maybe.
A little bit of oil might have been helpful in that situation.
So I'm impressed it made it 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good to run a turbo. What do you think this thing spins at? Maybe like 10,000 RPM?
Oh, I'd say 25, 30,000.
Oh, that much? Okay. Yeah. For no oil at all, that's a long time.
But I think the center feed, it was no oil, but it was still trying to get oil. So we'll call it very little droplets.
A drop per minute.
Yeah. So for anybody, I feel the takeaway on this is for anybody super concerned about your startup and holding the turbo still until it makes oil pressure. I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but I would have to think it's not very necessary.
You're not hurting anything.
If it makes it 15 minutes without any oil.
Yeah, I would agree. Can you get a electric ratchet in there at all?
I doubt it.
Okay. 3/8 or 9? Yeah, that's all you're getting. 3/8. How about that service crane?
We're still going to have to loosen it, because right now the oil feed is shown as here. Throw a little bit of grease on here just so we don't have any gulling issues. And I guess we're not going to take this off, because as we learned, that nozzle ring falls and makes for a grand time.
Oh, it turns
man,
nice and easy,
it's so nice without it being corroded.
That was way more gooder than last time.
Right.
What do you need help with here?
Well, I need to take these here plugs out.
When I got my D8 one back, I could barely get those things out of there. It was a fight.
Oh yeah?
They had them wedged in there.
Looks like we got plenty of super glue. I think I'm gonna need you to hold that oil line.
Let me go around the other side. Maybe I can do that easier.
Well, the turbo's only gonna come to here.
I guess that's true.
Our gasket fell.
I didn't even see it.
So this needs to go. We'll just hold off on that.
The snazzy ADS gloves, bud.
It's the only way to go, bud.
I'll lift up this side a little.
Yeah, pick it up because we gotta clear this here apparatus.
Alright, I'm good.
So the intake isn't clocked too far off, I don't think. Let's spin this guy up. These things should be illegal. They're always terrible. See, they work better when they're warmer.
That is true. Oh, I do that in the wintertime sometimes. But now, I mean, I got the shop.
Yummy.
Doesn't like them hydraulic machines though. 235 shovel pipe, scrap.
My Jenga blocks.
Is it working, bud? We need to cut some firewood for you to fit it in there better.
Put that like that. We got to get this to its happy spot. Oh
Happy,
yeah.
happy, happy.
Oh yeah. Those 3/8 canuts I brought. Where do they land?
Well, there's this magnetic tray here that you didn't use again.
Well, no, I didn't get them out of the truck yet, bud.
Oh, well, I don't know where you put them in the truck. Where they at? Where they at, though?
Oh, you know what? They're in my pocket.
Ugh.
Because I was like, I don't want to lose these. The problem is my crossover cable is like wintertime cold short here.
We got a torch. Heat it up.
We're going to have to... I just have to give this one the leany package.
Be all right.
We need more Jenga. We need to use this Jenga box to tilt her, see?
Peanut butter don't agree with him, see? Oh, that's perfect.
The dog's name is Frank.
Won't it just sit on that cross member now? Can't you scoot it closer?
Ooh, buddy.
Oh, it might be too high for the lid. No, it'll be all right.
It's under there.
Yeah, it's blow flush.
If it's welding, we'll know.
If it's not sparking, the battery's probably dead.
Well, you know what? You can't have that change in elevation. We got to set this one up too.
Oh boy. Oh, perfect. Now that'll hold them together. Everything's gonna be just peachy here. Oh, buddy.
They couldn't have made these any shorter.
No kidding. Huh? They come off a man lift or something?
That was for a group 30.
Is that a thing?
No.
Might need to expand those
Jesus.
eyes a couple.
Yeah, this is only in the summertime you can use these. Holy cow, bud. You know what? Because I think you might be... Oh, it's going to go.
Can you... I guess you can't.
Yep, there it is. That's your battery clamping device.
Yeah, you don't even need to put the nuts on that one.
Yeah. The dipstick on this is really the most inconvenient place. Good. Contact.
guys feeling like head springs just now? Yeah, it starts a bit easier than a cat.
So this thing has this very odd little tank here of hydraulic oil that I have just overfilled. And that is what runs your steering booster and the 2-speed steering. It's not part of the transmission case. And for some reason it keeps losing its level, which therefore you lose your steering. So I just topped that off. I'm thinking maybe this needs to be tightened up, but it doesn't. I couldn't get any on it. But I also got blasted in the face with oil at one point in time. Don't take that cap off while it's running. And be very careful when you take that cap off after you've thought you put oil in it. So we're gonna start it back up and see if it sucks this tank down at all. Give her the beans, bud. Should just pull that stick back in the middle and start it.
Oh yeah, she sucked her down some. She going,
yeah. Maybe just need to pull the steering clutch. Like something's there. the turbo seems to be working great. The black smoke is better, still not all gone. I am wondering if maybe somebody turned the fuel up on this thing, because that could explain the constant haze. Other people have told me the 817's just were smokers. It's running way better. It's definitely getting a lot more boost. Turbo's working a lot better. So big thanks to Area Diesel and Curtis for really taking care of us on this turbo, making everything right after the whoopsies on the bearings. And I'm really looking forward to just keep kind of tinkering on, fixing up this tractor. Still needs some little things here and there, but not a bad old IH. So thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.